Okay, so imagine this. What if the very things that make you feel out of place in the world are actually signs that you're here for a bigger purpose? That's what we're diving into today. This idea of starseeds and their role in raising consciousness.
That's a pretty big idea to start with. I mean, the concept of starseeds alone is already fascinating. Souls that have lived in other star systems or dimensions before coming to Earth. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's taken very seriously in spiritual and metaphysical communities.
Exactly. And what's so compelling is that starseeds are described as advanced souls who've chosen to incarnate here during this specific time to help humanity evolve. Think of it like being a specialist called in for a critical mission. Earth is going through this massive shift, old systems breaking down, consciousness expanding, and starseeds are here to guide us through it.
That's such an interesting way to frame it. It's like they're not just here to exist, they're here to actively participate in this transformation. But what makes someone a starseed? How do they even know?
Well, that's where it gets really personal. Starseeds are said to come with this built-in knowing, even if they can't fully articulate it. They often feel like outsiders, like they don't quite fit into the world as it is. They're deeply sensitive to energy, emotions, and environments, and they carry this unshakable sense that life has more meaning than what we're taught.
That's something I think a lot of people can relate to, especially now. Feeling like an outsider, questioning the status quo. It's almost like those feelings are becoming more common as the world changes. But for starseeds, it sounds like it goes even deeper.
It really does. For example, they're often drawn to the cosmos, stars, galaxies, the idea of other worlds. It's not just an intellectual curiosity, it feels familiar, almost like home. And then there are these moments of clarity or intense dreams that feel more like downloads of information than imagination. It's like their soul is trying to remind them of who they are and why they're here.
That's such a powerful image, this idea of remembering who you are on a soul level. But it also sounds like it could be overwhelming. I mean, if you're carrying all this sensitivity and this sense of urgency, how do you even begin to navigate that?
That's a great question, and it's one of the biggest challenges for starseeds. Their sensitivity can feel like both a gift and a burden. Crowded places can be draining. Certain people can leave them feeling heavy, while others light them up completely. But that sensitivity is also a compass. It helps them figure out what aligns with their purpose and what doesn't.
So it's almost like their sensitivity is a tool, even if it doesn't always feel that way. And I imagine that's where the idea of spiritual awakening comes in. This process of peeling back the layers of conditioning and really tuning into who you are.
Exactly. Spiritual awakening is often described as a process of remembering, of shedding what no longer serves your highest self. For starseeds, it's not just about personal growth. It's about raising consciousness on a collective level. When one person raises their consciousness, it creates a ripple effect. Families shift, relationships evolve, communities start thinking differently.
That ripple effect is so interesting. It's like the changes you make in your own life don't just stay with you, they impact everyone around you. But raising consciousness sounds like a pretty big task. What does that actually look like in practice?
It's not as grand or dramatic as it might sound. Most of the time, it's about small, intentional choices. It's about becoming more aware of your thoughts, your patterns, your choices, and the impact they have on the world around you. It's about moving from fear to love, from reaction to intention.
That shift from fear to love is such a powerful idea, but it's not easy. It sounds like it requires a lot of honesty and self-reflection. You have to be willing to look at your beliefs, your fears, your patterns, and then make the conscious choice to do things differently.
Absolutely. And for starseeds, this process often starts with a crisis or a breaking point. It's like the old version of life just stops working, and the soul knows it's time to level up. That breaking point isn't a punishment. It's an initiation. It's the soul creating the conditions necessary for growth.
That's such a helpful way to look at it. It makes the challenges we face feel less like obstacles and more like opportunities for transformation. But I imagine it can still feel pretty isolating, especially if you don't have a community or support system.
That's so true. Isolation is one of the biggest challenges for starseeds. But the good news is, there's a whole community out there. other starseeds, spiritual guides, and even your own inner wisdom. Finding even one or two people who understand your experience can make a world of difference.
And it's not just about finding others, right? It's also about taking practical steps to raise your own consciousness. Things like starting a daily awareness practice, auditing your inputs, and following your sensitivity as a guide. These are simple, grounded ways to begin living in alignment with this idea of awakening.
Yes, and trusting the timing of your awakening is key. There's no race, no finish line. Your path is unfolding exactly as it needs to. The most important thing is to stay present and keep saying yes to your own growth.
That's such a reassuring thought, and I love the idea that your weirdness is your brilliance. The very things that made you feel different are the things the world most needs from you. Your sensitivity, your depth of feeling, your refusal to accept things at face value, these are gifts.
Absolutely. It's a powerful reframe, isn't it? To go from feeling out of place to realizing that you're exactly who you were designed to be, and that the world is waking up to need exactly what you carry.
It really is, and I think that's a message anyone can take to heart, whether they identify as a starseed or not. The spiritual awakening signs, the feelings of being different, they're all breadcrumbs on a path back to yourself.
Exactly. And when you start to follow those breadcrumbs, everything begins to make a different kind of sense. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it.
Well said. So, whether you're a starseed or just someone trying to make sense of this big, messy, beautiful world, remember, your weirdness is your brilliance, and your path is unfolding exactly as it should.
I couldn't agree more. And on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have. Until next time.
Definitely. Until next time.